Hello, NorCal Carter friends. This is Jason, and this is another tech tip video. This one's brought to you by Extra Kart Parts, so extrakartparts.com. They are in the process of growing their YouTube channel, so take a moment, go find Extra Kart Parts on YouTube and hit subscribe, and we'll keep these how-to videos rolling. This video today is the tools needed for your cart. So, as you can see, I have some sheet metal snips, clickbait, don't need those right now. Claw hammer, don't need those right now. That was just for clickbait. So, we have here Track Magic Dragon I'm servicing for a customer. Right now there's just a bunch of different parts that are kind of pulled apart with it because I'm in the process of quoting the job, and it led me to do this video. I've been wanting to do this video for a while. So the tools that you're going to need to work on your cart. First off, let me just preface this by, in karting, if you're not a hands-on mechanic or you don't like to do things with your hands, you can still be involved in the sport, but your best option is probably to contact a team that can handle the stuff for you, and you just show up, arrive, and drive. And I have some great friends that have very successful race teams. You can reach out to me and I can put you in touch with them. So I don't want to dissuade you from participating or working on your own carts, because I think it's important from my perspective to know how everything works on the cart. So that's not for everybody. Some people just want to show up and drive. That's fine. It's your personal preference. So in this video, I'm going to help you walk through the process of what tools you need to work on your cart. So we're going to break the cart down into two major components. You have the engine. So here we have a Honda CR80. So this is the same Honda CR80 engine that comes out of a dirt bike. With modifications, we run different exhausts and air boxes. Sometimes we swap out different carburetors. We need to, manufacture engine mounts to bolt the engine to the chassis. So you'll have one set of tools generally specifically for the engine side of things. Then we get to the chassis. The chassis is going to have another set of tools that some of them will cross over to the engine, but a lot of times they don't. Put them all in the same toolbox. But you have your American carts like this one, Track Magic Dragon American cart. And then you have European carts. So for example, that's the American cart, older Track Magic Dragon. And then you have the European cart. So this one is my daughter's carts, Charles Leclerc cart. Different hardware. So on that Track Magic, the kingpin bolts were Allen bolts. On this particular Charles Leclerc, this is hex bolts for the spindle bolts. Now, not all carts have the same hardware. It's all different. So a lot of things in karting cross over, and a lot of things don't. So what you can do, you can go to the local track. You can contact your local kart shop. I offer this service. If you already own the cart but you don't have any tools, I offer the service where you can bring your cart in. We'll walk through your cart with my tools. You can create your list and go buy your tools. I will charge you for that. It's, our time, your time, my time is valuable, so I am going to charge you for that. But then you're not out there buying a bunch of different tools that aren't going to work. So what I like to do is start with the cleanest part of the cart. And this is a bad video because I have not cleaned this cart yet. I'm just quickly pulling things apart. For example, I was repairing the micron because the tab was broken. And a lot of times when the microns, when they sit, the batteries corrode inside. And I wanted to know if I had to sell a customer a new micron or not. So I pulled that apart real quickly. Doing a top end, wanted to pull the head real quick just to see what type of corrosion we were running into. So you can already see the corrosion building up in the water jackets because this cart sat for a long time. So this is just a real quick, boom, blow it apart, give a rough estimate to the customer. Back to the tools. So on the engine side of things, this engine, it uses a lot of 12 millimeter nuts. So you'll need a 12 millimeter socket. That's not the same with every engine. If you work on TM ICC engines, also a shifter, European based, it's arguable the 6 millimeter Allen or 5 millimeter Allen is the most popular hardware on that engine. So every engine is going to have its own unique needs. And as I'm talking about the ball end, if you are a bad mechanic, do not buy ball end Allen wrenches because you will ruin more hardware than you will remove. So if you are a bad mechanic, do not buy ball end Allen wrenches because a lot of the bolts that are soft, you'll just round them out and be very frustrated. If you don't know if you're a bad or good mechanic, you're a bad mechanic. So stay away from ball end wrenches. And why do I know this? Is because of experience. I'm a very, very hands-on person. A lot of times I didn't listen to my dad when he tried to help me when I was younger on mechanic stuff because I was young. I knew everything. So I ruined a lot of bolts, but I learned. So bad mechanics, stay away from ball end Allen wrenches. So you're just going to walk through the cart. You're going to look at the hardware. You can do this, again, at the track with a buddy, at a local kart shop. You can call Extra Kart Parts and say, hey, I want to do that service where I can bring my cart down and you help me build a toolkit. A lot of times, a really good kit is the ones you can get like at Costco or Home Depot or your favorite hardware supplier where they have, 300-piece toolkit. But you don't always need American and metric. On the Track Magic, I actually have to go through this cart. Looking at this one appears to have American hardware. The engines, for the most part in karting, except for your Briggs and Stratton, don't get me started on those, most of the engines are going to be metric. So, if you have an American chassis with American hardware and a European or a Japanese engine with metric hardware, you're going to need 2 kits. Sometimes it's cheaper to start off with one of those big kits and then add to it. And I've done that multiple times, so that's fine. So you're going to go through the cart, and you're just going to put a tool on each piece of hardware. And you're going to write it down. It's like, okay, well, I need a 1/2 inch for the tie rods. You're going to need 2 1/2 inches for the tie rods because you need to tighten one side while holding the other. Or you see these little cutouts here. That's going to be maybe a 7/16 that slides in there. So you hold that with a 7/16 and you can loosen or tighten with a 1/2 inch. So on European carts, that's going to be 13 millimeter. Some tools are going to be redundant. Some tools you'll never use at all if you buy those big kits. It's fine. But it's a very cheap way to get a kit. So you're going to go through each piece of hardware. Like this throttle pedal. There's a tiny little Allen key to hold the throttle cable in. Tiny little Allen set screw. So you'll need the proper one for that. Bodywork. Again, check everything. And the reason I'm doing it this way, a lot of guys come from other forms of motorsports, and they're used to just writing their stuff really hard, putting it away, cleaning it up, and that's it. Karting requires a lot of maintenance and hands-on stuff because the chassis is rigid. There is no suspension to dampen vibration. With the current karts we have today, we're using very sticky tires. There's some tires there. And all that extra stress on the chassis, it flexes things and loosens things up. Things break and crack. A clean kart is a happy kart. Usually the first thing I do with my own personal stuff is I wipe everything down first and clean it. Like I said, this kart, I will do that as soon as I get the big stuff going through so I know how much to quote the customer. But I'm going to wipe everything down. I'm going to use a cleaner that's safe for the paint. A lot of people like the Molecule product. I'll drop the Molecule discount code in the description. Molecule works really well. WD-40 works real well. Back in the day, I used to use Pledge for like the painted surfaces and things like that. So you want to be careful on the floor pans because that type of a product is very slick and you want your heels to have grip. So again, going through the cart, you're going to grab your tools and you're going to look at everything. You're going to put a tool on every piece of hardware. Pivot bolts, jam nuts, nuts and bolts, caps, hose clamps. One of my biggest pet peeves on hose clamps, when they're all different sizes throughout the engine. It's spend a few extra bucks and make sure all the hose clamps have the same size. So, for example, flat blade screwdriver. My old boss, Rainey, over at SwedeTech, hated flat blade screwdrivers on hose clamps because in this particular case, this case is an 8mm nut driver. Use an 8mm nut driver. That's what it's there for. But go through the cart. Anything with hardware, you're putting a tool on it, and you're writing that tool down. So you're going 3/16 Allen. We'll go 1/2 inch on that. 1/2 inch nut. You're going through the whole cart. 7/16 nut. You're just going through. Then you have your rear sprocket. Allen. Put an Allen wrench on that. Make sure it's right. Most likely this Allen wrench is metric. That's probably 8mm. I haven't put a wrench on it yet. But you're going to go through the whole cart and just do that. Your torsion clamps. 5/16 Allen. Maybe 6mm Allen. Your nuts on the wheel. 1/2 inch nuts. And again, I'm just blurting stuff out. Every cart's going to be a little bit different. The European carts, 1/2 inch nut, right? Don't call your local cart shop and say, "Oh, I need nuts." Well, what size? I don't know. It's on a black cart. That doesn't mean anything to your local cart shop. The Charles Leclerc cart, made by Burrell, 10mm wheel nut. See? 2 carts, 2 different nuts. However, those are your most common sizes. Then you have the spindle nuts on the front. So again, go through the whole cart. You have your seat hardware. Just go through the whole cart. And again, you can go to your local track, find a friend, ask if you can just use their tools for 20, 30 minutes, maybe an hour, depending on how fast or efficient you are. Don't borrow them for the rest of the race season. Just get your own tools. Or, like I said earlier in the video, reach out to NorCal Carters or Extra Cart Parts. I will put you in touch with one of my good friends that operates race teams. I have friends all over the country. I've been doing this for a long time. So if you just want to show up with your pretty $3,000 helmet, not get your hands dirty, get in your cart, that's perfectly fine too. There's plenty of companies that offer that service for you. But if you were more like me when you started racing and you started on a budget and you like to work on things, karting is freaking perfect for you. There are so many things to work on. Oh, so like on the engine stuff, 8mm bolts. So 8mm hex heads. So just little things. So again, before you buy any karting tools, go over your cart and find out what you need. There are also some really bitchin' cart kits, like pre-made kits with a bunch of tools on it. And those are options as well. But just know, you need to know what hardware is on your cart or your engine before buying any tools. And with that being said, if you're one of those companies that sends out or that makes the karting kits, send me one and I'll do a how-to video. And we'll get things rolling for you. But I hope this is helpful. If it seems a little bit overwhelming, reach out to me at NorCal Carters or on Extra Cart Parts. And we can schedule an hour of time. Come down to the shop. And we'll go through my tools. We'll put them on your cart. And you'll have a nice kit built out. You'll be self-sufficient. And you can go from there. But again, karting is very hands-on. If you don't do it, you're going to pay someone else to do it, which is fine. There's a lot of teams out there. That's their whole business model. My business model for Extra Cart Parts is I'm focusing on the local guy that's more hands-on. And that's why I do buyouts and I sell a lot of used equipment to a lot of recreational guys. And that's the focus of Extra Cart Parts. But you know what? There's room in the sport for everybody that has an interest in motorsports or karting. So I hope you found this video helpful. I tend to ramble. I tend to go over things multiple times. That's just my style. That's why they have YouTube shorts where I can just click, 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 click. But leave a comment, hit like and subscribe, and also in the comment section, write the next how-to video you'd like to see, or how I can make this video better. I want the feedback. So check us out, NorCal Karters. Also, our affiliate store, extrakartparts.com. Thank you, and have a great day.